Hello, yarn besties. I am the Crafty Crocheter, and welcome to another episode of WIP'N It on Wednesdays. I know it's been some time since I posted a Whip It on Wednesdays video. As I mentioned earlier, I was out of town last week and I hadn't had a chance to film a video for today, but I thought I would do this video because I felt it to you, the viewer, that you are entitled to a Whip It on Wednesdays video. So, as I mentioned in my earlier post, and my short or a video, that I was working on another project for my mother-in-law, which I'm going to incorporate into the Whipping It on Wednesday series along with the gnome. So I think how I'm going to play this is I'm going to do one project 1 week, and then I'll do the status of the other project the following week. So for this week, it's going to be the blanket I'm working on for my mother-in-law. Then the next week's going to be for the gnome, and so forth. So that way it's kind of a balanced thing. So that way you're getting both the gnome project and the blanket project that I'm going to discuss with you today. So let's move to it. So anyway, I'm going to tell you the story how I came across doing this blanket for my mother-in-law. So my husband had gotten a text from his mother, that my mother-in-law, that she was having an issue with one of the stitches and the project she was making, which I was not aware of what the project was at the time. So I thought it was one of those, it was like the crossed double crochet stitch, which I made a big video for, thinking that was it. But when I got to my in-laws house 2 Saturdays ago, because last Saturday was actually my husband's birthday, so it was the Saturday we arrived in New York. So she had produced the pattern and the blanket that she was working on, and then I looked through the pattern and thought, oh, this is completely different from what I was expecting. So I read through the pattern, there were some special stitches in the pattern that she was having difficulty with, so I took a look at it, and then I basically took over the project. So I showed her how to do the one couple stitches, but then she basically just said, you know, since you've been working on this, you know, I'll let you take it over and finish it for me, and I'll even pay you for it, and then I'll incorporate some yarn into it as well as part of the payment. So that is what we did. So the blanket I am working on for my mother-in-law, and she got this kit from Mary Maxim. I believe it was $100, and I will leave the link to I'll leave the link to the pattern below, to the kit below, so that way you know which one I'm talking about. So the pattern I'm referring to and the blanket I'm referring to is the Cut Under Pressure blanket by Crystal from Bag-O-Day Crochet. And she is affiliated with Mary Maxim. They have sold some of her patterns and some of her kits. So there were several other blankets made by her that they have on their site. But this is the one that my mother-in-law wanted to do because she had, her color scheme is like magenta, pink type of things, but they sent her the blue yarn by mistake, and then she had to contact them and say, hey, I want the pink yarn because it's what I originally ordered. So they sent it to her, and I think the kit was over about $100 for the kit, and then for the pattern, and then you got 15 cakes of the yarn. And the yarn that I am using for the project, of course, is from Bag-O-Day Crochet because it's Crystal's project, it's her baby. So I decided, and this is the yarn that my mother-in-law was using, and look at that colorway on there. It's kind of reminiscent of an ombre yarn, like that Red Heart all-in-one, Red Heart Super Saver ombre yarn, and that is beautiful. And I'll go into, and this is kind of like a yarn review as well because I've never worked with this before. So let me read some of the specs on this. It is about 280 yards or 256 meters. It's 100% anti-pilling acrylic, or it's 150 grams or 5.3 ounces. It's machine washable and dryable, but on the instructions it says to wash with a gentle cycle for a few minutes and then tumble dry using low heat for a maximum of 5 minutes, but then lay flat to dry. And then it's a number 4 worsted weighted yarn. And for the crochet hook size, of course, they recommend a size H8 or 5.0 millimeter, or for knitting needles, it's a US 8 or 5.0 millimeter knit needles. But since it's a crochet project, I'm using the recommended hook size. And the colorway for this particular yarn is Exquisite Clutter. And now with the kit, you have a multitude of colors to choose from. So I know there's a blue, there's a green, there's a silver, I believe, but there's all, like I said, I'll leave the link in the description below for the kit, and then you'll be able to decide for yourselves what color you want to go with if you decide to pursue this project. And another thing my mother-in-law brought up was the possibility of myself posting some videos about the special stitches in the pattern. Now, Crystal, if you're watching this, I want to make sure it's okay with you. I'm not giving away the pattern or anything. It's not my intention to give away the pattern, and I have no intention of giving away the pattern. I am wanting to just demonstrate the special stitches that are in your pattern. So email me directly if you have no problem with that. If you do, let me know, or you can leave a comment below too. Just let me know, so hey, I don't want you to do that because it's copyright infringement. So just let me know. All right. Oh, and the yarn review, sorry. I've been working with this yarn, and the anti-pilling lives up to its name. It is anti-pilling, it's soft as silk, it works great on the crochet hook. So Crystal, you've done a great job, girl. Keep it up. All right. Again, and I'm gonna show you what my progress is for the blanket, and I don't feel like lifting it up, so I have it on the table next to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you right now. Okay, so here is the progress of the blanket so far that I've worked for this project, and I just finished round 20 on this, and now I'm just starting on the second round of triple crochets. Don't worry, I didn't get too much away, just the triple crochets, if you can tell what those are. But I love how this turned out, and this is a beautiful blanket so far, and I cannot wait until this is done. Now this, according to the pattern, it's a rather large blanket. It's like it's gonna be taller than me, and I'm 5'11", so it's gonna be a huge blanket. So I cannot wait to see this done. So as I always do, I will give you weekly updates on how this is going. And I'll also mention maybe the row count for each skein. Like as of right now, this is the first skein right there. I'm just about done. And I just finished row 20. So the first skein, if you're working on this same project, it'll work the first 20 rounds of this project. Because I don't think it's gonna finish the next round because of the triple crochets. So that is the progress of my project. I hope you enjoyed that progress video as much fun as I had making it. Now, like I said, I'm going to incorporate the two projects every other week. So for this week, it was the Crystal's blanket, and then the second week's going to be the gnome project from Crochet World. So I'm just going to do one every other week. So that way you are kept abreast of my weekly progress for both projects. Now, the goal for this blanket project from my mother-in-law is to have it done in a month. We're gonna go back to New York in September sometime to do some more traveling, maybe to go to wine country down there near the Finger Lakes in the Hammondsport. So if you've never been to Hammondsport, you should go. But I'll probably do another vacation recap video for all of my adventures for next month, so stay tuned for that. And like I said, Crystal, if you're watching this video and you have no objections to me teaching the special stitches of your pattern, let me know, and then I can produce those for everyone else to follow along with if they choose to do the same project. But if not, let me know to say, hey, I object, and then I'll pursue it no further. All right? So if you like what you saw in this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that notification bell so you get notified new videos come out. Leave a comment if you like, and become a yarn bestie and subscribe to the channel. This is the Crafty Crocheter. Thank you very much for watching. Happy crafting.